actually back from a little sort of hospital stay, like minor surgery. I'm fine, but I'm tired and I'm a little bit in pain, so I'm on painkillers and some morphine, and life is good. So I just wanted to kick off this new reading vlog. I'm gonna try to do it with a little bit of a twist now, because I'm home today from work and tomorrow to just like take it easy. So I kind of wanted to do I tried to read for 24 hours in like 48 or 72 hours. It depends on how it's going and how much I get read, because I don't know how I'll be feeling later when the painkillers wears off and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep it a little bit under, but I want to read for 24 hours, and I'm gonna time it, so as soon as I stop reading I'll have to turn off the timer, and it doesn't count towards the reading for 24 hours. So I'll be reading I Must Betray Boris Pettis, and this is basically in the communist Romania in 1989, and the main character basically has to betray everyone he loves to be a sort of inside spy and like report on some Americans that live close to him. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book so far. I'm really not that far into it. Maybe like 70-75 pages or something like that. So yeah, wish me luck. I've only read for like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm tired, and I've taken 2 naps, and the first one was 2.5 hours long, so morphine. Might want some more of that. But I'm on page 184, and I read for like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something like that, so I haven't read a lot because I keep sleeping, but I am enjoying what I've read so far, and I'm going to try to read some more before falling asleep again. Hi, so like I said yesterday, I didn't end up reading that much yesterday, but I mean, I did just have a surgery. It's not that weird that I was tired and took naps all the time, because, morphine makes you that way. It's currently Friday, 11:12. I really should charge my watch, apparently. But I have like 60 pages left of I Must Betray You by Boris Pettis, and I am enjoying it. It's definitely starting to get very dark and gore, because now is when the protests against the communist, leader is taking place. There's a lot of blood and death and gore, basically. And I mean, it's been a quick read so far, but I just felt like not like that much was happening up until now. But now it's definitely getting some moves on, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen. There's definitely some questions that you have, and I'm wondering if you're going to get them answered. So yeah, I really look forward to finishing this one. So far I've read for 2 hours 51 minutes, and that is total today and yesterday. So I suck at that. I am gonna try to finish I Must Betray You now, and then maybe after that I do have some videos I have to film, but I don't know if I'm capable, because I mean, I can barely even sit up, and right now filming this hurts, so I don't know if I can film. I definitely need to, so we'll see. I might try to film and then edit some, and I definitely need to write some reviews for my blog, because I've already gotten behind and I've only been working for 3 weeks. But yeah, let's get reading, why don't we? Hi, so I've stopped the timer once again, and I read for 3 hours and 41 minutes, and I just finished I Must Betray You, and yeah, I really did enjoy it. It's very like eye-opening how the life was when you live in a communist country, and to think that it like the revolution was in 1989. It's like it's not that far away. Like, it was quite recent, honestly, and yeah, just to believe how strong the people were. And I mean, this is a fiction version of the events, but I mean, the rise and the fall of this also family was, a real deal. So even if the characters are fictional, what they went through are still based off of like real events and stuff like that, because people did tell sort of secrets and spied on each other and tell that to the Securitas sort of people. And yeah, it was very eye-opening. It was very quick to read, and yeah, it feels wrong to say I enjoyed it, but it was a good read. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. Okay, so these are the books that are sort of on my TBR for this video, because these are my self-destruct books. And yeah, I feel like I should take one of the contemporary books because that would be a much quicker read, but those are not like the two. Those are not among the books that I really want to read before September 12th, because that's We've Read the Gates, The City of Brass, and Oliver Twist, possibly like Furyborn, but those are like the bottom of the ones I'm interested in. So I think I'm gonna go for this, City of Brass by S.I. Chakraborty. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about this one. It's sort of a historical fantasy because it takes place in the markets of 18th century Cairo, and thieves, tricksters, conners, and outcasts. And they live basically off of swindling rich nobles and foreigner invaders alike. But alongside this new world, the old stories linger, tales of jinn and spirits of cities hidden among the swirling sands of the desert, full of enchantment, desires, and rituals, where magic pours down every street, hanging in the air like dust. Many wish their lives could be filled with wonder, but not Nahari. She knows the thread she's used to get by with tricks and sleights of hand. There's nothing magical about her. She only wishes to one day leave Cairo. But as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick this one up. It's like 520 something pages. So it's definitely thicker than I Must Betray You. But yeah, I've been wanting to read these for a very long time. And I know this is a very popular trilogy. And people really seem to enjoy it. So I should definitely pick it up. I just ended up recording my August wrap up, so I'm just gonna try to get some of the read books into the shelves. And I mean, my couch is really weird now because my fiance moved it around so I could be comfortable while watching TV and stuff like that while I'm home after the surgery. So we're just gonna do our best and try to fit things in where they're supposed to be. Hi, so she's 10:42 p.m. and I feel like this entire like reading challenge is going so horrendously bad because I'm on day 2 and I've only read for 7.5 hours. But yeah, that's what happens when you have surgery right before you do this. And I have to go back to the doctor tomorrow to like check everything is okay and stuff like that. So I don't know how much reading time I'll have tomorrow either, but tomorrow's supposed to be the last day. Like, we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to update you guys on City of Brass. I'm on page 145, so I got a little bit to it. So far at least, we follow 2 different characters. We follow Nahari and Ali, and we get to read from both of their perspectives. And Nahari lives in Cairo, and she's sort of known as this sort of healer basically, and she has kind of some abilities, you know, because she can sense if someone is sick. Like, for one thing, she sort of looks at a woman and she realizes that she has some kind of growing mass on both of her breasts, as in, you know, breast cancer. So she can basically feel it. She can also tell someone if they're completely healthy, and she can also sort of recognize and speak a language that she hears. So definitely amazingly polyglot. And she heals really fast if she herself gets injured. And yeah, basically, I don't want to spoil anything, but basically she makes a mistake during one of her, like, sort of, she kind of, I guess, tried to do an exorcism type thing, I guess. Not really, but sort of. And something definitely goes awry. It was not meant to happen, and it gets a little bit dangerous, and people want to kill her for different reasons. So yeah, that's basically where we are with her. I don't want to say anything more than that. Then we meet Ali, who is the prince to Ghassan, was that his name? I don't know. His dad is a really, really bad guy. Everybody's terrified of him. They basically describe people pissing their pants when he is around. And you wanna join, Lance? We don't really know much about him though. He is supposed to become sort of this king's guard to his older brother when the day when his dad passed away, but his dad is like, I don't really remember, but like 200 years old or something like that. And they are sort of I think they were jinn, so kind of, hi Lance, what you doing? So they're kind of this magical race, and they have different abilities as well. Some people can like shapeshift, some people can conjure like desirable items and stuff like that. So it's different from different tribes, and I'm just interested to find out how these two characters are going to end up meeting, because they haven't where I am at so far, and I want to just see how their like stories intercept each other. But we'll see. But that's where I am right now. I'm gonna try to read for a few more hours before going to bed. But we'll see how it goes, because otherwise I'm gonna have to read for like forever tomorrow, and this is just not going well. It's Saturday now. It's just like 2:42 p.m. So starting to run out of time. I just took a nap after the doctor visit because I'm exhausted. But yeah, I've read for 13.5 hours, and to save some time I was actually listening to an audiobook on the train, and like to the way there and stuff like that, and on the way home because we had lunch in the city too. So I've been listening to Munkavle by Sofie Sarenbrant, which is basically a memoir about her childhood, and basically like realizing that she had been sexually assaulted as a kid, as an 8-year-old, and she had this sort of what we call on the radio sommarprat like a year or two ago, and then she actually ended up publishing this book afterwards, talking basically about the same thing. And this is basically about her realizing that she was not to blame because she was a kid, and basically like what happened, how it went down, and how her like family and friends reacted when she told them afterwards, and when she went to police and stuff like that. So since I've been multitasking, I've been getting some reading done today. So I've listened to 2 hours and 43 minutes, so I have about 58 minutes left. So yeah, it's very well, I mean, so far it hasn't been like that many details, so which I'm happy about. So like you get you get it without needing all the gory details, because I don't really want to hear about that. But yeah, it's a very heartfelt book. The narrator Gunilla Lining is doing a very good job as well, and yeah, it's a very good audiobook. I don't really know what I would rate it so far though, because just I don't know, how do you rate a book like that? But I have also this morning before going to the doctor, I read some in Serio Brass. So now I'm 255, so I'm basically halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it so far. The main characters still haven't met. There have been some magical aspects which I like, of course. There's been a little bit of politics and like trying to understand why the different Jinn tribes hate each other, and like why they're trying to kill why the Ifrit, what's it called, are trying to kill Nari, and Nari's background, her ancestry and stuff like that, understanding her powers. So we've gotten a little bit of answers, definitely a lot new ones, and I'm just interested to know what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm about halfway through, and I think I'm gonna pick this one up again, maybe pausing the book by Sofie Sörmbrand for a little bit and read something else, and then I might get back to the audiobook later. But yeah, I do still have like 11.5 hours left to read, so it's gonna be a late night. So I'm exhausted. She's like almost 1 a.m. But I just wanted to tell you that I ended up finishing Munkavel by Sofie Sörmbrand a couple of hours ago. It was a really short audiobook actually. I used to listen to like 1.0 speed just to be able to make sure I got all the information in, and it was like 3:45 or something like that long, so not too bad. And I've realized that memoirs is like one of the few genres that I can actually listen to audiobook and actually understand what the fuck's going on, but it's fine. Anyways, ended up finishing that. It was a really good book and learned a lot. And then after that, I started listening to a new audiobook. It's called Honett Esmeralda, Berättelsen om Lilla hjärtat by Melinda Jacobs and Nina Thunberger. So listen to 1 hour and 13 minutes. It's a really long audiobook because almost 12 hours left. But yeah, this book is about a little girl who was put into a foster family when she's like 5 weeks old, and she lives with that family until she's about 3 or 4, I think 4 years old, and then she ends up being transferred back to her birth parents because it's believed that they can take care of her again. And after a couple of months she ends up dead. This is basically the story told by the foster parent, telling her story and what, well, partially about her life as a kid, but also about when she got Esmeralda and they get to take care of her, and going through the entire stage of like bring her up, losing her, and then realizing she's dead, because they were still hoping that she would get back to them at some point, because there was signs of abuse from the parents already before she ended up dying. So very hard book to listen to as well. I have heard of the story like before picking up the audiobook, so when I came across it I figured, why the hell not? And I'm also making my way through City of Brass. I have like 49 pages left, so it's really not that long. I know this is a very hyped series, but I feel like it's like overhyped. I mean, I am enjoying it, I am, but I don't really understand the hype completely though. There's a lot of action going on. There's definitely some bad blood between the tribes. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll have some more conclusive thoughts tomorrow. I have less than 40 minutes left to read, and I'm exhausted and I'm reading so slowly. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to finish this one, and I'll not stop reading until I finish it, because I just want to finish it at some point. But yeah, I'll give you more conclusive thoughts tomorrow. Hi everybody, so it's been like a week and a half, so I thought maybe it's time to wrap up this vlog. So I'm just newly showered, but anyways, so I ended up finishing 3 books actually during these sort of 24 hours sort of reading test vlog. I ended up finishing I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys, and this was basically about communist Romania. It was really interesting, really a quick read. I flew through it, but it was mostly like towards the end where I felt like shit were really starting to pick up and shit really starting to happen. So I ended up giving this, I think, 4 stars. And then I also ended up reading City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This was actually on my these books will self-destruct in 12 months sort of list, so I needed to read it. And this has been so freaking hyped for like forever, so I figured I should pick it up. And honestly, disappointed. So we basically follow a girl and a con artist called Nori, and she has some like magical abilities. She can sense if someone is sick or injured or stuff like that, and she can heal really fast, and she like knows all of the languages and stuff like that. And then she meets this sort of guardian guy, and he's a little bit possessive. And I don't know, it felt like not a lot happened. And yes, there were some moments that were like action packed, but it was so much like just traveling and moving from point A to point B, which, you know, I don't really like reading about because I find it boring. But yeah, I definitely expected more, so I ended up giving this like 4 stars, I think. And then I also ended up listening to Munkave by Sofie Sarenbrant, which is a memoir about her telling you about her childhood, about being sexually abused as an 8-year-old, and what like the whole realizing what happened, telling everybody what happened, and like dealing with it and stuff like that. It was a really short audiobook, it was like less than 4 hours, I think. But yeah, I listened to that one. And I also started Hon hette Esmeralda by Melina Jacobs and someone more, I don't know, photo. And I ended up listening a little bit of that. I'll write the finishing number of like total pages read right here. And this was definitely stressful. I definitely could have read more on Thursday because I read for like 2 hours. But yes, I had just had a minor surgery, so it's not that weird that I was just basically sleeping and doing nothing, basically just staring into the ceiling because I was so freaking tired. So I'm not so surprised. So technically I like almost read for 24 hours in 48 hours, like basically, right? But yeah, I'm really happy about finishing 3 books, and I definitely want to do this again sometime, but maybe like during vacation or something, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of reading vlog, and I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye.